Welcome, everyone. I'm Stephen J. Garvey, founder, leader of National Citizens Alliance. If anyone who don't know me, go on to nationalcitizensalliance.ca. You can see a brief biography of my background. For us, it's not about me or any other NCA member. It's about the Canadian people and our country. But just as background, I have a master's degree from the University of Cambridge, and I've worked in various sectors of the Canadian economy. And I'm non-career, non-establishment to the core, as is all other NCA members. So today we're going to shed light on globalists in Canada. We're not singling out any globalist party or individual, but we want to shed light to allow you to connect the dots so you can understand the political theater going on and the connections between the federal government, provincial governments, municipal, all back and forth. There is a radical transformation going on in Canada. This is a fact, and we believe it's manifested in UN Agenda 2030, which Stephen Harper adopted in 2015, and it's being implemented across Canada on all levels of government. Go do your research if you don't believe us. Just type in UN Agenda 2030 PDF. Go look it up, read it. This is all about global world order. This isn't made up. But we're going to go into Jason Kenney today. He's a former Harper minister, and he's a lifelong career establishment politician, and we believe he is a globalist shill. And we will present the facts today. This is not an attack. Some people have been taking this personally. This is more exposing with facts so you can make better decisions. We're not attacking. We're just exposing. We believe you need to know about people like Jason Kenney. You need to know about him because of what he could do to Albertans and his ties to the federal conservatives, etc. We feel you need to know the truth about these people. They have power now, so, knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can deal with it. The first thing you need to know about Kenney, as far as we know, it could be more, but he's at least a two-time attendee of the Bilderberg group. And this was in 2007 while he was a minister in the Harper regime, and 2014. The Bilderberg group, this group is a secret group. It's unelected, unaccountable. It's viewed as a secret shadow government. This isn't made up. Anyone who attends, the members are sworn to secrecy. There's no media coverage of what goes on behind the scenes with Bilderberg. The group, as far as we know, supports global world order, global government via corporate globalist control, one world currency, one world citizenry, open borders, erosion of national sovereignty, attack on any form of nationalism, Canadian nationalism, US nationalism, British nationalism, you name it. It's all built upon the erosion of sovereignty, open borders. So the question we put to you, why was Kenney there while a minister for the Harper regime on two occasions? Why? Was the Bilderberg group influencing federal policy through Jason Kenney? Were there any kickbacks to Jason Kenney? These are questions we all need to be asking, and I have a couple of articles that will shed light on this. This is an iPolitics. It's this isn't made up stuff. Kenney, he was in Copenhagen for a secretive Bilderberg meeting. This is in 2014, and this is documenting Kenney in 2014 and 2017. This is very troubling from the National Citizens Alliance standpoint. We identify with Canadian nationalism, Canadian sovereignty, Canadian citizenry. We oppose these globalists, their open borders, their attack on Canadian identity, heritage, cultural norms. The second point, I've got a video here I'm going to play now. This is very troubling, and this is tied into this UN Agenda 2030 agenda. And this may shock people, but this Jason Kenney, now as Alberta Premier, he wants to bring in 10,000 third world migrants a year into rural Alberta. You can't make this stuff up. This is 100% globalism, open borders, and it's a complete slap in the face of Alberta workers, many of whom who are looking for work. This is unbelievable. And here's the video evidence of this. There you have that. Kenney's so-called United Conservative Party. I would call it United Globalist Party. They want to bring in, again, 10,000 third world migrants into rural Alberta. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's what they want to do every year. It's sickening. And another thing you need to know about Kenney, but I should add further on that, this is, like I said, this is rooted in UN Agenda 2030, which Harper adopted. It means open borders, extreme multiculturalism, change to the cultural, ethnic fabric of Canada to replace Canada's traditional identity, heritage, and cultural norms with this post-national globalist state. All these establishment parties are in on this agenda. And this is evidence of that. And this ties to the Bilderbergs, what Kenney's doing. Unbelievable. Another point you need to know, when Kenney was minister under Harper, he flooded a small town in Brooks, Alberta, with Somalian foreign workers, bypassing Canadian workers. And this was at a meat processing center there. And there was a lot of impacts on that community. And I'll play some evidence of that right now. These are testimony from citizens from Brooks talking about the impact from Kenney's flood of Somalian workers into Brooks, Alberta.
In a negative way.
I would say there's definitely more of a fear of having your children out on the streets playing in front of your house, especially later in the evenings. You're not going to catch too many women that are willing to walk from the bar down a back alley to get to their apartment building. We have an issue here of well over 100,000 people in Alberta out of work. Why are we interested in bringing in additional immigrants to fill in the workforce? Why are we not trying to bring the people locally within Alberta back to work? Should that not be our goal?
He really needs to vet, and the ones that aren't going to come here and be on our welfare system shouldn't be here.
What would you tell Medicine Hat? What would you tell Lloydminster as they wait for Jason Kenney to
give them their allotment of people? All you're doing is diluting and adding to the pool of people that are looking for work. And it's now become a situation where these people are getting preferential job placement. They're getting preferential treatment on the job market and can actually, in some cases, work for even less because some of them are supported by partial programs. And this makes them a better candidate to an employer than, let's say, my children or grandchildren.
I'm going to shed background now on the policies of Kenney under Harper. It's absolutely pure globalism, and you need to know the facts. So I'm going to refer to our policy notes here, and we will go through the facts now. Under Kenney in the Harper regime, there was historic mass immigration into Canada, on average of 280,000 a year on average from 190 countries, with Philippines, India, China, Islamic Republic of Iran, and Pakistan in the top 5 immigrant source countries. And a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this. There was high illegal migration from the US, and these globalist conservatives did nothing about it. And it reached as high in 1 year, 37,000 crossing from the US into Canada. And if we look further at the numbers here, in 2007, for example, there was 35,000 asylum cases under Harper. Largely, most of them from the US, coming from the US. 2011, there was 25,315 asylum cases. Let's compare this to Trudeau. In 2016, there was 23,870 asylum cases. To be fair, there was an upsurge after 2016. In 2017, there was around 50,000 asylum cases. But this illegal migration across the U.S. border is not a new thing. Not a new thing. It was going on under the Harper regime, and they did nothing about it. What else do you need to know? Kenney suspended chain migration for 2 years, but then he only restarted chain migration of spouses, parents, grandparents of migrants already in Canada. So what he did was he just added to the backlog. He didn't do anything to deal with the chain migration scam on Canadian taxpayers. Strangely, he cut benefits to refugees, legitimate ones, who are the most needy, but did nothing to stop the gravy chain of welfare, CPP, OAS, GIS, healthcare to migrants. And this is the most disturbing one here. Kenney, under the Harper regime, flooded Canada with temporary foreign workers, like in Brooks, Alberta, as we showed. These are cheap foreign laborers that undercuts Canadian workers. And I'll give you the data here. In 1996, 52,000 temporary foreign workers were in Canada. By 2015, there was 310,000 temporary foreign workers in Canada. Between 2005 and 2009, 500,000 temporary foreign workers were admitted by the Harper regime. And what the Harper regime and Kenney did, they allowed corporations, unelected, unaccountable, to dictate immigration intake to their best interests, not the Canadian people. And the government matched 4 corporations, which encourages corporate vultures. Corporate vultures, and it puts Canadian workers last. Those are the facts. No one can deny this. This guy Kenney, these globalists, it doesn't matter whether you're a globalist conservative, globalist liberal, you're an NDP, or the other multi-controlled opposition. They are working for globalist corporations like the Power Corporation. They are tied to organizations, secret organizations like the Bilderberg. That is a fact. 10,000 third world migrants flooded into rural Alberta a year. And that number will probably increase under Kenney. And if we look at places like Vancouver, BC, traditional Canadians are fleeing that city now. They're going to rural areas. What's going to happen when there's no place to flee to? What's going to happen? So we're encouraging you to get behind National Citizens Alliance. We stand in full opposition to all these globalist sellouts in Ottawa. There is a radical transformation going on, turning Canada into a UN globalist village. They are attacking rural Canada now, as demonstrated by Kenney and Doug Ford. Doug Ford's doing the same thing as Kenney. There's a replacement going on, demographic replacement. This is factual. And it's through the mass immigration, through people like Kenney, globalists like Kenney, Ford, the Shears of the world, the Trudeaus, the Singhs, you name it. It doesn't matter. The Bernay, they're all in on this. Get behind NCA. Otherwise, this country, it's almost at the point of no return. This is a fact. So please share this message today. Be sure to check out National Citizens Alliance, nationalcitizensalliance.ca. Become a member, volunteer, run in 2019 against these globalist sellouts. Thank you.